Hello, welcome back to another video. Christmas is already past. Time has flown by literally, but today we're going to be using E.L.F Cosmetics products. I'm super excited to do this video. I've done this in the past and I always have such a good time. I feel like E.L.F always has really some great products for affordable pricing. I've used this for like so long and I still love some of their products. So we're going to go ahead and jump into it right away. So let's get started. Alright, so we're going to start off with the brows first. Let me see. I'm going to be using the E.L.F Brow Lift. And it's kind of like a brow wax basically. It's giving me very ABH vibes. Now I've used this product a few times before because some of the other videos went up before that. And I've worn this outside as well. Highly recommend this product. I mean, it's so good. And I'm also going to be using the brow lift applicator, and it has like a flat ended kind of thing which really helps. To be honest, I like this way more than the ABH brow wax. I know, shocker. Like, it's so good, so I highly recommend this product. And what we'll do towards the end of the video, we'll kind of just walk through some of these products and see which one are really worthy a purchase. So I'm just going to take a little bit on the back of my hand and just apply that on my eyebrow. So I first like to kind of just like run the product through my brow, and then I'll go ahead and like start actually shaping it. Like, do you see that? It stays up so nicely. And then once I've ran the product through my eyebrow, I'm going to take the flat-sided and basically just run it through the brow and help those hair kind of just like sit up more and stick to the skin. And one thing you want to make sure is like you kind of don't have that much of product around the eye area, because that's what's going to help the product to stay more on the eyebrow. Just gonna quickly do this one. Like, do you see that? I mean, it stays up nicely, so nicely. I don't even feel this type of stay or hold with the ABH Brow Lift. So this is like such a must. I highly recommend if you're looking for like fluffy, bushy brows, especially with the current trend right now. This product will do the actual justice, so highly recommended. Okay, so I don't really have a brow pencil, so I'm just gonna leave it as is, and if needed I'll go ahead and fill it with my ABH Brow Wiz, but for now we'll just go ahead and get started with the eyes. Okay, so I've actually never used this palette. It's the E.L.F Matte for Matte palette, and I think it's just gonna have all the matte shades. I may have used this once, honestly, I don't even remember. I feel like I have not, but who knows. But before that, you know, I'm gonna use the E.L.F All Day Stay eye primer. I don't use any other primer aside from this. I have used this for so long and I just love this. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, to start, I'm just gonna take a neutral shade just to give us a good base and just set the eye primer. I mean, this is not really a needed step, but I always like to do it every once in a while because I feel like when you're working with some of the colors that are harsher to blend in, this step always helps in my opinion. Alright, so I'm going to take a lighter brown shade and work my crease area, basically. Alright, now I'm going to take a little darker color and build that crease a little bit. It's kind of like a chocolate color, basically. Alright, so I think that's what I'm just going to do for the lid. And since this one doesn't really have a shimmer color, let me see if I can find something similar or a shimmer in the other palette. Okay, so I'm going to use the E.L.F Opposites Attract palette, and I'm going to go in the shade, let me see, gold. It's actually kind of pretty. Like it's like kind of like a rose gold. Ooh, it's really pretty. I'm basically just taking it in the inner lid, and we're gonna fill in with a different shade on the inner side. So this is kind of like in the middle portion of the eye. Cute. I'm gonna take Daring. Let's see how this one looks. It's right here. So let's see how this one picks up and looks. Alright, I'm gonna go back into the other color and just blend out the shimmer into the matte portion of it so it looks a little seamless. I feel like the two shimmers blended really nicely. I'm hoping the camera's picking up, but I like the way they're kind of like blending in basically with each other. Alright, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to do a quick liner, lashes, finish off the other eye, and then I'll be right back. Alright, we are back with the lashes. I am not the biggest fan of the mascara, and I use the Big Mood mascara. I mean, I feel like that there were so many great things said about it, but for me, it just does it, and I think it's so bristle. It's just too soft. I don't really know how to describe it, but if you compare it to different mascaras where they have a little harder wand, it's so much easier because this one feels like it's really smooth on the lashes, and it doesn't give you the volume. I feel like I think that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't give you the volume. It really does great in separating out your lashes, so I think it's really great for that, but just personally not my favorite. So we're gonna go ahead and move into the face. Actually, so what I did for a liner, I just did a very thin line closer to my lash line, and then I smoked it out with a brown shadow from the palette. I wanted to keep it simple because I'm just really enjoying the two shimmers, like the pink and the bronze. I feel like they go well really together. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and move into the face. I don't even need to tell you, you're probably tired of me hearing this, but this is the E.L.F Power Grip Primer. I've used a primer, infused primer, something like that. I forget what it was called. And I personally did not like it. I just felt like it was very... I didn't like the texture. So if you're familiar with a professional primer, that's what it was. So it's like very... helps you fill in the pores. I think that's what it probably does, but I'm not the biggest fan of the way it feels. This just feels so good on the skin. It's very cooling too. And then for the foundation, I've actually used this in the past. It's the E.L.F Flawless Satin Foundation, and I'm in shade Sand, but I think this might be too light for me, because I remember when I used this last time, I actually had the same shade, but I mixed it with a darker shade, but I don't have the dark shade, so I'll try to mix a different shade. I think this is, I have a sample, the E.L.F Flawless Foundation from Charlotte Tilbury. It's super dark, so I'll try to balance this out and see how it goes. But yeah, this is literally only $6, and I highly recommend it because I remember when I used it, I remember so good. You can't go wrong with a $6 foundation. It's cruelty-free and it's affordable, highly recommended. Okay, I think that matches now after mixing it with the darker shade. Alright, so for the concealer, I'm going to use the E.L.F Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I think this is just really light on my skin, so we'll see how it looks like. I think it's really light. We're gonna have to use a different concealer to darken this up because it's not gonna work. Yeah, I don't know if the camera's picking, but it's like super yellow on my skin. Not a cute look. Alright, so I'm just gonna use my Tarte Creamy Concealer in the darker shade, and I'm just gonna cancel it out with that. Hopefully this would work. Okay, I think that worked out. Okay, alright, I'm loving the skin so far. Alright, so we'll go ahead and first do all the cream products. I don't have a cream blush, or I'm sorry, a cream bronzer, but I do have a cream blush, and it is one of my favorites, the E.L.F Putty blush, and I use the shade Tahiti. Love, love, love this. It's a super subtle blush, great for daily wear, and I just take my brush and just like tap the product into the little container and just pat that in on my upper portion of my cheeks. I love this shade. Really great for brown, mid to brown skin tones, I would say. Like, it's just so gorgeous. Oh my god, it's so pretty. Okay, and then for bronzer, I'm gonna use the E.L.F bronzer. This is in shade Perpetually Tan. I don't know if they have this anymore because I've had this for quite a long time. So I'm just gonna take a little bit and just dab it on the, where you would basically just contour like bronze. Alright, so now I'm actually gonna set all my products. To set my under eyes, I'm gonna use the E.L.F Perfect Finish HD powder, and it's like a compacted powder. Alright, so I'm just gonna take my sponge and just apply that under the eye area. So like, it's definitely giving smooth vibes. Really pretty. By the way, some of these products are actually new, so I have never really used them before. So we'll definitely do a rundown of what's worth your money. Wow, it just like blurred me out. I don't know if you can tell, but it's giving blur. I like this. Okay, and then to set the full face, I am gonna use the E.L.F Halo Glow Setting Powder, and this is also in shade Translucent. I'm gonna take it on my fluffy brush and just run it through the face. So one thing what I would recommend is if you're applying the Putty blush, you want to apply a few layers, because what happens is, what I've noticed in the past, if I'm applying just a single layer, or if I'm going for a natural look, when I apply the powder, the full face setting powder, the blush doesn't really appear on the face anymore, so it kind of just like goes away. That's the only thing I don't like about this blush, but I think that's the idea of it, that it's supposed to be a subtle and a natural type of blush. So something to keep in mind, not a bad thing, but just something to keep in mind. Okay, and then I am gonna take, this is new, this is the E.L.F blush, and I think this is the Primer Infused blush in shade Always Rosy. So we're gonna test this out and see how this is. Oh, this is cute. Very pretty. It pairs well, really, really well with the Putty blush in shade Tahiti. Alright, this is so pretty. I love it. Super, super natural and just, I don't know, simple. Okay, so lastly, for the face, I'm going to use the highlighter. This is in shade 24K Gold. I use this for a regular basis because it's super subtle and it just blends in really, really nicely with your skin. It's nothing too dramatic. Like, I hope you're seeing that, but it's such a beautiful shade. Highly recommended. So pretty. Like, it's super, super, super just subtle, and it just blends so nicely with your skin. Okay, so I'm gonna set our faces, and I'm gonna use the Dewy Coconut Setting Mist. I've used it in the past, but I think it was in a different bottle. I know it smelled so good, so let's test this out. Smells like coconut. So good. The mist is also really nice. It's like fine. It just goes everywhere, not just shoots you right at your one face. I literally don't like those type of setting sprays. I've used some in the past, but this is so good. Super, super, super good. Okay, so while we let that dry, we're gonna finish off the eyes. So I'm just gonna basically take the lighter and the darker shade. I'm gonna run just lightly on my lower lash line. Okay, and then I'm gonna take even a lighter shade, and I'm gonna use that as a inner corner highlighter. I'm gonna take the shade Loki from the bigger palette, the Opposites Attract. Perfect. And then I lightly just coat my lower lashes, just a very thin coat. Alright, so another reason why I don't like this mascara is because the wand is so big, or the bristles, that I always get mascara on my lower lashes. But anyways, okay, almost done. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and do our lips, and I actually got this lip crayon. This is the E.L.F Love Triangle Lip Liner, and this is in shade Deep Brown. And it basically just looks like a triangle, literally. So I'm gonna use that, line my lips really quickly. All right, so I feel like this liner is basically your lips, but better. But the other thing I also really like about this lip liner is because it's a triangle shape, so it kind of helps you be a bit more precise with the outlining of your lips. So really like it. For lips, I actually got these two, I think these are like lip primer, lip oil type of thing. And I got in shade Basic Beige and Cinnamon Dreams. I've tried one of these, so good. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually use the shade Basic Beige. Oh my gosh, it feels so soft on the lips. I mean, I've never felt a lip product feel this good on the lips. So I just love this product. All right, this is it. So like the lipstick, the lip stain, I mean, this feels so soft and just beautiful on the lips. What I would recommend is just fill in your lips and then go ahead and do the lipstick, because I think that will help it last longer. But I've only used it once, so I can't really judge that much. But just the way it feels, I mean, it just feels just so good. But this is it. So what do we think? All right, so we're gonna do a rundown for some of the products. Brow lift. Literally run to the Target or to Ulta, get yourself this brow lift, especially if you're into a look with just a bushy brows and just kind of like a thicker bushy brow look, you know, if that's what you're going for, highly recommend it. Mascara, I don't really think you need it. It doesn't really do a whole lot for me, at least for someone who doesn't wear false lashes, so I need my mascara to do its thing. This, it's not doing its thing. Lancome does its thing, and that's my girl, literally. So yeah, I don't think you definitely don't need this. Lip stain, oh my god, highly recommend it. I got in a couple of shades. I want to try the other one that I have not yet. I think it's like a light brown shade, so I'm super excited to try that. Foundation, you cannot go wrong with a $6 foundation. Make sure you have your correct shade, but I think we were able to make it work. But yeah, I've used this in the past and I love the way it's just so smooth, and it really is truly a satin finish. It's not matte, it's not dewy, it's just perfect, just beautiful. Putty blush, Also another product that I highly recommend just because it will literally just go with anything. If you're looking for something more subtle for a daily wear, this is what's really just gonna be it. One thing to keep in mind is that sometimes because the product is really light, you have to build up the product. I think that's about it. So thank you so much for watching and staying to the end with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys next time. Bye.